Hello, good morning. My name is Bika Sivanandan, and today is the 4th of March 2026, and the time is 6:25 a.m. 5 minutes earlier than usual. Got a little enthusiastic. Okay, now, um, okay. The topic, the area of body you will be paying attention in maintaining the health of is the region of the calves. Some people refer to the calves as another heart. When the calves are functioning, the blood return to the body and different functions become possible. But there are also people who deal with varicose veins, where there is poor return of blood. And is that related to calves not being healthy enough? Or is there something more at play? Because the veins in the calves have valves which may not be functioning as well as they need to, so that there is no back return of blood. So um, that may, or rather, um, it may be clogging the movement of blood. And there are valves in the calf veins, which then causes trouble. So it's not just about the muscles, but the calf muscles are calves are related with there's an idea of calves are another heart. Interesting part of the body, helps us walk with the front of the thighs and back of the calves. Okay, front of the thighs and the muscles of the back, which are called as the calves, helps maintain our ability to bend our knees, extend our knees, yeah, to help us walk, bear the weight of our body, have us dance, go in all kinds of directions, because these muscles can then adjust the balance, expand, contract, and thereby help us dance. Thank God we have calves. Yeah. Now, now that we've straight away gone to speaking about calves, in the Nirbeeja Yoga style, calves are appreciated in terms of length. Okay. Muscle fibers from the region of the ankles to the region of the knees at the back of the lower leg. Now, what's new about it? Um, it's about awareness. When you say stretch, if you're seated, I recommend you sit on a chair with at least an ability to bend your knees at 90 degrees vis-a-vis your hips and your ankles. And then place one foot flat on the ground and extend the other leg such that you can twist your ankles, only your ankles. Um, so your heels can go left and right, and only very slightly you move your heels slightly to the left and right. Like you would say if you're going to wave somebody by, somebody is say moving and you're going to wave by, and you're very lightly going to move your heels by which to wave by. What an example. Yeah, but okay, you get the idea. Very slightly. With that movement, it becomes possible for you to feel the stretch of your muscle fibers from your ankles, or rather from your heel, all the way to the back of your knees. It becomes easier to appreciate the stretch of the muscle fibers. Very slight. Now try moving your heels, your feet, like you are, how do you say? Bring the outer surface of the area about your little toes to the front, such that your great toe is going back, the side of your great toe is going back, and then back and forth. So instead of moving your heels left and right, What you're doing is keeping your heels where they are and moving your little toe and great toe front and back. So the entire feet, the sides of the little toe move front, and then you bring that part back such that the great toe, the side of the great toe moves forward. Yeah. That's a different set of movement than moving your heels left and right, wherein the toes are in the same place, but your heels are moving left and right. It's a different range of movement. So unique for the ankles to be able to do that. Can you imagine the engineering it's taken for this part of the body called feet to be able to do that at a joint on which we put our entire weight of our body? Okay? And that joint can move in these ways. Can you see how delicate it is? But it can hold the entire weight of the body. Engineering marvel. Yeah? And the calves are in the lower part of the leg, behind, in the back portion of the lower part of the leg, supporting this marvelous engineering at the region of the ankles. So, how important must this calves be, left and right sides? And so, it's a pulley lever kind of a mechanism. It's not just like another heart. Yeah. A lot of people experience so called trauma when they haven't been able to pay attention to the region of the calves. Or let's just say in terms of Nirbeeja Yoga. Yeah, right. We will come to why I say that. When you're walking, some people don't walk, they sit a long time. But even if they're walking, even if they are not walking, they have their calves and they are aware of their calves or not. Okay? So whether you're sleeping, whether you're sitting, whether you're walking, whether you're standing, dancing, what have you have your calves. And are you aware of your calves or not? Okay? Do you know when your calves are strained? And by that, I don't only mean the back of your lower legs. I also mean the sides. Okay, now we have joints. Knees are joints where bones come together. Similarly, we consider the sides of our lower legs to be a joint where muscles come together. Muscles from the front of the legs, lower legs, and muscles from the back of the lower legs in some way come together. And when there's a sort of strain along the side of the lower legs, that strain speaks a lot about your ability to walk long distances. Now, this may seem strange. So this is something that I've noticed over a period of being able to walk. Yeah, I used to walk long distances. And then in the research of movementless yoga, I used to not walk. I was maintaining my health without that. And then again, after the pandemic lockdowns lifted after some time, I started walking longer distances. And this is something that I noticed from walking. When you can feel the strain about the sides of your muscle joints, yeah, along the lines of the lower legs, where the muscles from the front and back sort of come together. When you can notice that strain is in some way when you can walk long distances. If you cannot feel that strain, you may not be able to walk long distances. It's a strange kind of thing that I've noticed. When you're walking, you will feel that strain, but awareness of that strain helps you. I can't say pull it up, yeah, or keep it up, or um, it's a different kind of a stretch. And that only comes about when you walk long distances, 5 kilometers, something more. But you would say, oh, easily. But the thing is, you got to walk slowly and you got to walk say, a little elevation, a little down steps, um, crooked roads where you have to sometimes go left and right. And so your muscles strain differently. Yeah. You could be walking straight roads, 5 kilometers, not the same thing. But still, that still does bring about something. Why am I saying this? Your calves maintain not just um, um, your heart's ability to pump blood, because the blood that then goes to your feet also returns to the upper part of the body, also by the strength of it. So some people who get, say, swelling in their legs, their circulation may not be as good. Yeah. And so when they say walk about a little bit, then that circulation becomes better and the swelling goes down. Um, I also happened to have an accident, fell from a vehicle, hurt my lower legs, and then I was recommended to place my feet up on pillows. And it's only when I started dancing, in spite of the swelling, because our body is designed to move. When the body is not moving, you have discomfort, and the discomfort continues. So I was having swelling, and the vasculature in my legs were not flowing as well. So I danced. But after that, my recovery was faster. But some would say it's a risk I took. You could have had blood clot. But I was already practicing Nirbeeja Yoga. I was already aware of what's happening um, through my clinical health facilitation. So I was paying attention to my body in a way that most people wouldn't. And so I was paying attention to the revascularization that was happening in my lower legs. So, um, so is my vasculature different from others? Human body. But how you maintain health when you appreciate your body as designed to move, such that even when you're sitting, when you're walking, when you're moving or not moving, you can pay attention to your body as an organism, an organization designed to move, then your approach to life becomes different. When you're not moving, or rather, when you're not paying attention to the movement that your body is already making by the simple fact of being alive, changes your attitude to what exercise is, to what being alive versus not alive is, how you approach life, what is your attitude. Rather, attitude is an at it tude. Yeah, at it all the time, like an engine that's running and for a purpose, and it's on for a purpose. Whether or not you recognize a purpose, you are more likely to recognize a purpose when you notice your body is designed to move, and when you're appreciating the different parts of your body in terms of this body is designed to move. Human bodies are designed to move. Once this is on and alive, your purpose for being in existence is just a few steps away. Okay, it may be just a few steps away, or 5 blocks down the road, or a few sentences to be written, or a few activities. Okay, I tend to say few when it may be a few miles, but it's not lifetimes. Or you don't even know what's your purpose, and then so many years down the line you discover it. It may not be that far. It may be a few things that you would need to do, maybe write, continue to pay attention to your body in a particular manner. Um, uh, Over time, your itinerary comes together. Your time space relativity, your time and space comes together in a way that it is not your mind, in a way that your mind and body is not different. They come together, function as one unit more often than not. And along with that comes your purpose, because your purpose is part of your mind and body and your bodily composition and your existence and all of this. But it may not, the more you're paying attention to this, your reason for being in existence may not be few years down the line for you to find. It may be a few months or not many years down the line. Yeah. Saves you a lot of time, effort, and grief. Yeah. And a lot of money too. Than spending lifetimes wondering why in the world am I in existence? What's the reason for being in existence? What role do I play in the whole scheme of things? You would figure that out. It becomes easier to figure that out. But you'd have to do certain things, write, sort out your daily activities, get your stuff together, recognize your relationships, what role each play. You have your life more sorted out. But I have a way to do that. I've been doing this for some years, 46 plus years, over the years for me to arrive at this. But Nirbeeja Yoga is part of the 4 methods of yoga by which to continue to have your life together, move forward, and then continue to be found in the whole scheme of things than getting lost. A lot of people are lost because they don't know there is this to find. And then there needs to be a system by which to regularly update the system. So you're more found than lost. While you could get lost, lost and found is there, but you would find yourself back. You would be more found than lost. And there are new things that you don't know about that you encounter. And then you are wondering, what in the world did they just say? And then you'll be out there at bay. But when you have this in place, you're recognizing the new information in light of this existing information that you found. And then you see things in perspective. So I call it my scheme of things or mighty conscience, a lot of stuff. So let me know if you're interested in learning, but it takes time. I'm telling you, it's about 46 years. After about 46 years, plus years, don't you think things will be simpler enough than you having to figure it out for what's taken me about 46 plus years? Yeah. You will have to do some writing work. You would have to do some things that are recommended to do so that you're getting more found. And then to develop that system by which you continue to be found than lost. Yeah. And then how to um, firm it's like terra firma, your firmament, your more stabler space from which to be and become. That becomes possible. Yeah. So a little bit of work is there, but it's not years of work. Yeah. All right. So do let me know on sign up on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Yeah, I was thinking somewhere else. Okay, you could sign up on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. That would be my contact details. So it becomes easier for us to be in conversation. LEARN dot DYNAMICSTILLNESSES.com. And um, these lives I'm posting on YouTube. I think I would have to reformat it, but they're definitely there on Mighty Radio, MITIRADIO, MITI space RADIO on Spotify. So Mighty Radio. So I'm putting them up there. So you'd find a list of the previous recordings too that I've made. X Spaces have taken some of the lives. Sometimes the app just goes off and the recording is half, or only about 2 minutes is 2 minutes of the recording came through. So some things you would find a more complete recording of it on Spotify, Mighty Radio. I'm also looking at other formats, but the thing is where you can reference what I'm talking about. Now, why is this important? While you go about your daily activities, your awareness of your feet flat on the ground all the way to the top of your head as one axis, one structure that holds all of your life together, or rather in a harmonious manner where you're not getting lost inside you in how tight you hold yourself, or getting so loose that you're so much out there in the world you can't even be aware of how's your lungs expanding and contracting. Because you're out there, there's not that balanced state of tension, intention and extension. That tension is not balanced between the insides and outsides, or your awareness of your insides and outsides. Some people tend to do that, sometimes get so lost in electronics that the electronics have had an influence on the body that they are so, their presence and awareness is more outside the body than about what's happening inside. Or they're eating food that maintains inflammation in the body, so much so that they would rather not feel the discomfort in their body, and so they are more externally extroverted, so to speak, yeah, than introverted, and not maintaining a 50-50 balance between the microcosm and macrocosm. Yeah, when you're aware of the microcosm and macrocosm, interior, antaranga and bahiranga, so to speak. And the back of your lower legs versus front of your lower legs, and your awareness of it brings a fine balance. Okay, and the sides of your lower legs brings a fine balance between the front, back, left, and right sides. But you're being aware of the inner sides of your lower legs, that is the region in between your legs, and the tension in the insides tells you a certain information which is not possible by just being aware of the muscles of your lower legs. If you're not aware of the inner surface of your lower legs or of your legs, you don't know you don't know where you're hurting. That's a bad, sad thing. Yeah? When you're not aware of the uh, region between your legs, from your pelvis, pelvic floor to your ankles, to where your feet touch the ground, you don't know where you're hurting. Some people say heaven and hell. If you consider the pelvic girdle to be a point of reference, the region above the pelvic girdle to be, well, heaven, so to speak. Because people also talk in terms of the chakras and work from the pelvis all the way to your head, but are not aware from the pelvic girdle to the ankles. And I'm talking in terms of the region between the legs. Because they say, what? The leg is only there, and then that's open space. But there's a whole lot of stuff happening between the pelvic floor and your feet, between the legs. Consider that there are many chakras. Now I'm just putting something there, so to speak. But I'm bringing something to awareness that a lot of people are not thinking in terms of. And they say, oh, hell. And a lot of trauma therapists work on the legs, but don't know what they don't know because it's not visible. And when you're walking between these worlds formed by the inner surface of your left leg and the inner surface of your right leg. You're walking between these worlds that then forms your hell. I mean, your hell as well. Your calf muscles, the heart, that's also your calf muscles, are, well, pumping a good, nice life. It's not the same thing as just saying your calf muscles are your heart. There is a sort of heart at the upper surface in your heaven and a heart in your hell. And when heaven and hell are fine, your experience on Middle Earth with the body that you have that's human is more pleasant, and you would have moksha. Your ability to be on this side of life and walking the path of rightness, doing the good thing, being of service to yourself, people around you, future generations, becomes not just easier, but graceful. Because people would love to see somebody who walks like they love being alive, like they love where they are. They enjoy the breeze, they enjoy the sunlight, they enjoy the trees and whatever is there at this point in time, rather than saying it's not there, not there, not there. When a person was walking with it's not there, not there versus A lot of things may not be there, but this is there. This moment is there, and you can make everything possible. When you have the wealth of the present moment and what's there in the present moment, how you walk with that is different. Your awareness of your skin is, it's not, oh, I'm sorry, I exist. I'm sorry, I exist. No, versus, I'm here. Yeah, here I am. This is me. There's nowhere else on earth I'd rather be. There's this movie called Spirit, the Stallion of Cimarron. Yeah, it's an animation movie. Watch it sometime. Yeah. Ooh, if you don't come to where you are right now, yeah, with what you have and the body you have and whatever there is at this point in time, you will never be happy anywhere because, well, you have a life because you have a body that's beating. That is where any experience of living is possible. Because those who don't have a body that's human are dearly wishing for one. Yeah, including, I think, artificial intelligence and computers and robotics. If they have a consciousness of their own, they'll be like, it would be nice to actually see what it would be a human body like. Yeah. So some of us are functioning like tankers or bazookas or machines because those atoms and molecules, which also formed you, may have been atoms and molecules in a tanker, in a bazooka, in a with different machine parts, which over time then eroded or became something else. And the spirit of those machines are now part of the charge and the emotions, and which then also forms your atoms and molecules and stuff. So you're living many people's lives by the experience you have. And you never know. Maybe a machine shop around with machines getting shaped, and their particles are having an influence on you, and you feel very mechanical, yeah, rather than being very human. Or you may be sitting around electronic gadgets, which are functioning mechanically, and your body is affected by mirror neurons of their experience, and you're feeling very mechanical. So I recommend walking outside, hopefully with your bare feet, so you can feel the earth because earth is alive, and then can feel the wind on your skin. Yeah, the light from the sunlight on your body. They are functioning by fractals, by a certain math which is other than mechanized math. If this then that, um, you know, press this button, this happens. Mechanized automated processes versus not automated natural dynamic processes such as light from the sun, the wind, the feet, the sand that would touch your feet, because they have a rhythm that is, you have not calculated and put them there. They have a rhythm that's natural of their own. And so the immunity that's possible for you to maintain from something that is not mechanized, put in a particular kind of order, which is also artificial intelligence, versus natural intelligence, makes a world of difference for you as an experience. And when you're walking, it's your calf muscles which allows for you to walk, and how your health is maintained from your awareness of the front of your muscles, front front lower leg muscles, and back calf muscles, and then the left and right sides of both sides of your legs makes a world of difference. But you should be able to appreciate when you're walking. Try feeling these different muscles, front, back, left, right, of left and right legs. Your world will not be the same. And you will appreciate it more if you walk a longer distance, even if it's just a few paces longer than what you normally would. Your aerobic ability, your ability to just walk, or just your ability to appreciate becomes better. Because you would have to maybe twist your legs a little bit, one or the other, to actually feel the muscles, the stretch of the muscle fibers. And it's a juicy experience when your muscles come alive, and when they feel the juiciness, the movement of the muscle fibers, what that does to your experience of living. Anytime you're feeling bad or down, and you can pay attention to this juiciness of your calf muscles, life is not the same, I tell you. It's like having a glass of juice, but it's a different experience. It's not just blood, I think. Mm. Lot more intracellular fluid, um, um, extracellular fluid. There is also lymph nodes, yeah, which is the drainage system of your body. Then there is CSF also, your brain fluid, which is also present through the blood, through the limbs, through the different fluids of your body, and how they then get informed by what's happening in the lower part of your body, and then go and inform your head, which is the upper part of your body. And the information that becomes possible from your brain knowing what's happening in the lower regions makes a world of difference in what information you process. It's like gut bacteria. When your gut bacteria is good, what food you choose becomes automatically better versus if you're not aware. You're gassy bloaty and you're popping a pill to go beyond gassy bloatiness, your chances of getting healthier is less likely than if you're aware of your bloatiness and you know that's because of your gut bacteria. Yeah. And then you're aware of your gut in a way, in terms of the physiological function, then the insides, the microcosm that's your gut microbiome, from being in harmony with your anatomy, gut anatomy, automatically it's like permaculture, improves the microbial system in your gut. And then when the anatomy and physiology is functioning fine, the choice of food you make would automatically become better. Now that's when the mind and body is more functioning together. That's also mind, body, spirit, consciousness, conscience coming together. And the choices you make when you are more together is different from when you are not together. I had to say that. So it's something that becomes possible when you're aware of your, also of your calves. We got lots of areas of the body. But when your brain is also aware of what's happening in the lower part of your body, um, heart brain connection, calves as heart and your brain. So we got lots of hearts in the body. We're all hearty people. Yeah, that is when you're aware of the different parts of your body. Like this, um, more than just aware of they are there as one part to do something, not just another instrument. You want to do something, so your body functioning as an instrument versus you're an organism who is in function in different areas of your life versus just an instrument, just a part of a whole. Oh, you just don't matter. You're this thing in this whole thing. You have no say in the whole scheme of things. Somebody says to you and you do, versus you're an organism in an alive organism that's also called life or the system, and all are functioning for a purpose. They are there in existence for a purpose. You're there in existence for a purpose. And when the microcosm and macrocosm are functioning together, what you do, what you and the system together can do, what the system can do, is a whole lot better than like you having to drag a dry, dead part. If you're a dry, dead part, the system has to drag you along. That's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy to have a system functioning. When you're functioning like, oh, I don't matter, you're this dead thing. Yeah. Come alive, get a life. Or just attend these lives, you will get one. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind interest. I hope this has been of value to you. Well, I'm trying to live in life in the multiverse. So, on that dry note, go walk. Yeah, get yourself a little more juicy. And then you would have some more life rather than surviving, and or you may be already glugging so much of glasses of coffee just to keep yourself alive or to be functioning. Coffee and tea too much takes water out of your body. And if you're not walking and paying attention to the juiciness of your body, and without being aware of that, you're drinking tea, coffee, you're taking the water out. With this awareness, tea and coffee become something to be appreciated. In Karnataka, um, as far as I know, people offer a glass of water to people before they can give tea or coffee because they are already aware of a certain physiological reason for what tea and coffee does to the body. And when is tea and coffee more appreciated? Drink water and then have your brew. Okay? Similarly, be aware of the juiciness of your body and then appreciate food, including water as food. Yeah? Any activity, exercise, over and above your body already being in exercise. How you then approach your equipment on the gym, in your aerobic dances, or many activities would be very different because that's an alive body doing things to get to, I can't really say to optimize, yeah, but you're engaging in your different activities for a purpose. Otherwise, you're doing them just to be alive or to exercise. And that is not going ahead because that's you schedule your time to exercise versus there's an alive person doing that activity because that's what's going to get you 10x to a goal which otherwise wouldn't be possible. Different attitude, different outcomes, um, least effort, maximum result. But that maximum is not in a way that actually would break any of your bones or muscles, wouldn't give you a strain or sprain, but instead that will stretch and give you that extra mileage. Not possible otherwise. So, performance coach, yeah, amongst other details, to let me know how I may be able to make your life better. Yeah, simpler, easier, better, beautifuler. So much is possible. This is Bita Sadanandan signing off in Enlivening Life in the Multiverse. Your friend in, well, Enlivening Life in the Multiverse, having a life be beautifuler, much better than we have found it. Yeah. Ooh, founders benefit. Then I have a foundry model of business. So thank you so much for joining me. Good day.